Hello, hello. How are y'all doing?
Everyone.
She wanted to be over here for a minute.
Whoa. But first,
She wants to show you something before we get started on our Toadstool trio.
Some of you, or most of you, oh no.
First of all, if you're catching the live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. But if you're catching that replay, let me see that hashtag replay. Now I'll let her. Here's Kirby. She wanted, okay, so when I cut this out, okay, so we voted on this, right? Mm-hmm. When I cut this out, she goes, hey, Mama, if you're going to paint today, can you cut me a Kirby? So I know you can't really see it.
Yeah, but it's right here. Seriously, right here.
She's so upset. But I told her she can't paint until I'm done painting. So she's got to go be a big girl and go hang with her daddy until I'm done, okay? Gonna hang out with Bob right back there. Is Kirby gonna hang with Bob? Yeah. All right, without further ado, let's get to painting. Okay, so this has a green and white background. You can do whatever you want. The mock-up, I put a buffalo plaid because that is still pretty popular. But with a smaller, on a door hanger, you can use the Dollar Tree painter's tape, and it works phenomenal. It's perfect spacing, easy to use, super cheap. But on this smaller size, I don't necessarily want to use the Dollar Tree painter's tape, only because it's kind of wide and it's going to overwhelm. My sound is funny. Of course it is. Let's see. Of course it is. Let's see.
It's an echo.
No, I don't think there's an echo. Hold on one second.
Echo.
Oh, I see. Is that better?
It was an echo.
There probably was an echo. Hey, Sheila. I swear I get so frustrated with the audio. It drives me crazy. Sheila, I have questions for you. After I'm done, don't be shocked if you get a couple of text messages. Okay. Much hello, Ray. Hello. Okay, y'all ready to get to painting? So, like I said, I will be here. Perfect. Is the sound better now that I've fixed it? Hold on. I'm in love with this design. Okay. So, hear me out. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. It drives me crazy when it is messed up, but I'd rather know now than get 30 minutes into the shindig and then it's still y'all can't hear anything. So that was actually a me problem. That was me. I forgot to mute one camera, and I just carried on with my bad self. Okay, so this is a green and white background. You can do any green and white background. You can do a purple and white background. You could do yellow and blue background. You can do this design is so versatile. You can do any color combination you want. Yes, ma'am.
Pink or green background or pink or blue background.
Do we love how she just propped herself right there? Like she's here with us, y'all. She's just gonna be here with us.
I'm right here. I'm just on the stool.
So we're just gonna go ahead and just base coat this white. Like I said, if you're catching the live, let me know what you're doing right now. Mr. Wallace is outside grilling. He is home today, and so whenever he's home, he cooks. And so he is grilling, and she'll probably go in and out.
Hey, Mom.
And like I'm just here painting. So what are y'all doing?
So
hey, Ray, glad to be here and see my favorite painter. They're talking about you, boo.
Mama.
They're talking about you being their favorite painter.
Mama.
Oh, okay. Yes.
When you're painting right there, you can't see it right there.
I know, baby. This is coat number 1. And what do we say about white? White is nobody's friend. We just assume we have to. We're gonna have to do 2 coats unless you have that fancy, expensive chalk paint. Which I'm not knocking it. Okay. I'm just not paying for it.
Or you can colorate chalk marker or color pencil. Or crayon?
I could totally do this in chalk marker or color pencil or crayon, but I prefer to do it with paint. I really do. Are you about to go outside and play?
No. I'm just putting the stool up because my bottom was hurting.
Your bottom was hurting. Well, that's a metal stool. All right, so that's coat number 1. I just painted the whole thing because it was just going to be easier to paint the whole thing. I just got home from work and caught you live, and I don't have to watch the replay. Yay, Tammy! How them birds treating you, girl? How are those birds? Now we have a matching set of birds. So, a little backstory. At Hobby Lobby. Ooh, can you go get one of Mommy's birds off of the mantle? Maybe that blue one by the picture of Bubba.
Okay.
So, at Hobby Lobby, and I just this last year, I haven't seen these prior to, but just this last year, there's been a trio of birds. There's been crows, there's been cardinals, and for spring, I was so sad when I put my cardinals up. So for spring, they came out with like pastel birds. No, not those. Oh, but yes, let's show the goose. Yes. Okay, so I'm a little obsessed with the goose. Okay, so my grandmother, my granny, my mama's mama, she in her kitchen, she had the little goose with the bow. Like you never knew if it was a goose or if it was a duck, right? Like she had everything in her kitchen was that goose. And so I am obsessed with the goose. And so anytime I go to a thrift store and I find something with that blue, it's like blue and white and it's the goose, I pick it up. I love that goose. I have a spoon rest. I have a little coffee mat. I love them. So these, okay, so here's this is enough, baby. This is enough. So here's the little, aren't they the most adorable? So the cardinals and the crows, they were exactly the same. They were just black and red. And I was so sad when I had to put my cardinals up. And I spotted these. Okay, baby, I don't need all the decor. I just asked for the birds. She's bringing the bunnies and all that. And so I picked these up and I was like, I'm so happy. And of course, my friends know about my obsession with cute, chubby little birds. And so I sent it to them. I was like, look what I found in Hobby Lobby. And my friend Tammy, she was like, I want those so bad. And she finally got some. Christy gifted her some. So that we now have a matching set of birds in our house. Baby, can you come put these birds back up for me before I get paint on them? And then I have to touch them up, clean them up. You don't have to put them back up I'll put them on the mantle because it was kind of hard to get it around all the garland up there.
Right now,
why don't you just put it on? Yeah, that's perfect. So if you notice, I'm picking it up. I don't like paint to get on like the ghost of projects past to be on my workspace. It's just a lot of cleanup afterwards. So I tend to pick mine up or put something underneath to just minimize cleanup. It's not hard to do that. And it keeps my edges cleaner, not clean, but cleaner. And there's less cleanup at the end. So, like I said, 2 coats. Fully dry and reapply. Howdy, howdy. Weird, I can only see my comments. Oh, really? She's totally nerding out over this design. Oh, it's Lorelai. We're talking about Lorelai nerding out over the design. Okay, so fun fact. It's not that I'm not a fan of toadstools. My 13-year-old boy brain can't unsee some like this one. They're just hard for me to see them and not think that they look like something else. Same thing with a jellyfish. Whenever I see like a doodle of a I love jellyfish. Octopus is my favorite.
There's kind of like a compromise with them.
There's a compromise with them. What's the compromise?
Look, a jellyfish has that top and also a mushroom.
There is that they are very similar shaped, and it's just I never saw it till someone said it one day, and I was like, I can't unsee that. And just ever since then, there's only been certain ways that it can be drawn, and my brain doesn't go there. So it's like it's a weird thing in my brain. So I have yet to draw one until this year. And then I had a friend that was like, can you please release some toadstools or mushrooms? And I'm like, I guess. It's like, I have avoided drawing mushrooms for years. I'm just always afraid someone's going to make the joke. And I'm like, you know what? let them make the joke. It's a adorable little mushroom. So, Braylon was nerding out and saying all of the different options. She's my little project manager over here. Graham and I were actually talking about that as I was cleaning my brushes earlier. We were in the kitchen. He was prepping his little project outside, and I was prepping this. And we were talking about how, she can be a little bossy. And I know the term bossy is derogatory now. To me, bossy's not derogatory. It's just an adjective. She is a little bossy. Most little girls can be a little bossy. And little boys too. Yeah, I've met some boys that are bossy. But she just comes by it naturally. And I said, well, she's got her grandmother and she's got her aunt, and my sister is extremely bossy. And I'm like, I think that's just a little girl thing. And some of us just don't outgrow it. Like, she doesn't boss people around. She tells people what to do. It's just the way that she approaches saying something. Like, instead of saying we can do this, she will opt for you're gonna do this. And it's just the way she says it. So whenever I get crafting, she gets super excited. She's super creative. And so she starts giving me options, no matter whether I had a direction with it or not. And there are times she gets upset if I don't take her direction, just because she wants to see her ideas come to life.
When I put this finger up, it's pointing at this finger.
Yeah, well, it's mirrored, baby. Yeah. It's mirrored for us so they can see the big picture. Let me move my coffee away from my paint water so I don't make that inevitable mistake. All right, so let's blow dry this. This was technically 3 thin coats. You can throw 2 thick coats on there and be done, right? But they're going to be real thick. They're going to be real brush strokey. They're not going to be pretty. They said hello. No, I don't. I just reshaped those. Can you go hang out with Daddy? He's grilling. I love you. Go on. I'm going to be doing the boring part. It's going to be right, Lynn. You're going to upset him. All right. So here we go. She was going to give us option after option after option of what we can do. So he just saved us. She's precious. I know. She's adorable. But shut the door. Oh, she did. She did it gently. Okay. So let me show you this. Okay. This is a makeup sponge. I get these from Ulta. They're my favorite. Another place I like to get my makeup sponges are from Dollar General, not Dollar Tree. Okay. And I'll tell you why not Dollar Tree. Dollar General has better quality. Dollar Tree is, I need that stencil. This is Hobby Lobby. It's Hobby Lobby. So you go to Hobby Lobby. It's I think it is the Show Offs brand. So there we go. See, I clipped off the old paint. This thing can be used over and over and over again. I am very particular about my makeup sponges for crafting, only because I want something that feels like memory foam. Okay. And the reason I get them from Ulta, is the Ulta brand, is because they're consistent in the way they feel. They don't soak up paint as, look at that. Like barely. I like that's barely soaked up. I mean, are you putting your shoes on, baby girl?
Dad told me to.
I think that's a good idea. I think you're going to have a good time outside.
I know I'm
No, I'm not. Because she wants to be in here with us. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of a bright green. Okay, just a bright green. And I'm going to ghost it out. Which just means I'm going to put a little white in it. I'm going to mix it with white to kind of give me a pastel green. This is my favorite spring green. Okay, it's my go-to. And I'm just going to mix it up. Hey, y'all, need a big old hi from Boo. Hey, Becca Boo. No, go put my headphones down, please.
okay.
Raylan Marie, I love you so much. so much. Okay, baby. Go have fun with daddy. So I just dipped it. See, that's a lot of paint. That's a lot of paint on there, okay? It's really gooped on. I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Hey, Kenda. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in almost a year. Actually, it's been a year. It's been a year. No, April will be a year. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm just tapping the majority of it off. Like I said, the mock-up has buffalo plaid. I don't have the patience for tiny buffalo plaid today. So I'm just going to stencil. This is one of my favorite stencils. I'm a horrible stencil mama. I do not clean my stencils, okay? This one came from Hobby Lobby. If you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll come back and link everything, including the full color list with names. You know, I'm real bad about not naming things off while I'm live. So if you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll come back and tell you what colors that I've been using. Also, where I get everything. The stencil, the blank, if you want to get the design for this so that you can either cut one out with a printable template, or if you want to cut one out on a laser, you can totally put the word Toadstool down in the comments, and that will be in I call it a link buffet. It's a buffet of links. I'll take you to the link buffet. It's like the Western Sizzler. I'll take you to the Sizzler. The Wallace House Sizzler. That's an inside joke with my family. We used to go to the Western Sizzler. Sizzler. But we always said Sizzler, like it ended with an A. Let's see. We're going to go down. We shifted just an itsy bitsy bit. Okay. I do love this stencil. I like this brand of stencils for like smaller projects because, like I said, it's a half a sheet of paper basically. So, and most of their designs are continuous. Like you can match them up and continue on with them. A good bit of them are. They have a really good variety at Hobby Lobby, but you could also get them on their website as well. Got your army bear? Make sure you get all the little peekaboo sections. Get all the little peekaboo sections. You do not want sop and paint on your makeup sponge when you stencil. It's going to make a hot mess express when you go to put it to wood or your project or anything. You want it to be a barely there thin layer. It's like foundation. You don't want thick caked on foundation. You just want a nice thin layer when you put your makeup on. Same thing with stenciling. Same thing with stenciling. Almost a year. I know, right? Like it was April. Totally forgot that it was April. For some reason in my brain it was March. But this year's conference was March. I'm hoping to go in July. I do plan to hope to go in July and hang out with crafty people and just... All right, so I'm just kind of piecing this together. There's little sections here. Makes it easy for me not to have to worry about it being continuous. There we go. And I think this one was just called Scrolls. I think it's just called Scrolls. And if you're wondering what brand I'm talking about, it's called the Show Off brand. This is another one that I haven't opened yet. And it's just called Show Offs. But if you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll link to this exact one. It's only a couple dollars. I think they're like $3 full price. And then don't forget, you know, Hobby Lobby always puts a 30 or a 40% discount every couple weeks on stuff like this. Oh, well, I don't know. That was the question you were supposed to be buying me a ticket. You were supposed to be buying me a ticket. I even texted you and I was like, hey, don't forget about me in July. And you ghosted me. Sheila. Let me know though. Seriously, let me know. Like, I'm totally playing. Let me know. I think I still have till June to use my discount in the group. It's a group that I'm in and Sheila's a part of that group too. But I wanted to like lock my ticket down. And Sheila was supposed to buy it for me while she was at the conference, and she totally didn't. Sounds like I texted you back. Seriously, I texted you back. I don't have it. I'll look. And look. I don't. I'm chill. I'm gonna find a way. I'm going. I'm going. I've already ran it by the house project manager back there that just keeps coming in and out. My kids already have a plan. Like, I'm good. Let's go. You did buy it? You bought it? Yes. That I've been stressing about that the last couple. It's on my to-do list, and I'm like, I'm not bugging Sheila. She just got back. I'm letting her catch up in work. But it has seriously, like, my brain. I was like, I need to check this off my to-do list. So thanks. I'm gonna check that off my to-do list. You're the best. Really. Mama said, where are you hanging out with crafty people? I'll text her. I'll text her when we're done. Text her when we're done. And if she wants a ticket, she wants to come. We already have an Airbnb. She can just bunk with me. We've bunked together before. Okay, so we have our background down. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our Toadstool's stools. Okay, because they're in the background. The mushroomy part sits on top of the mushroom toadstools part, and so you really want to, like, I do it in layers. And so since that technically is behind the pretty decorative part of the toadstool, let's go ahead and paint that and get it out of the way. We don't want to have to tuck that in anywhere. But okay, so I don't want to leave Marie hanging. Let's see. I'll give you a hint. Ashley. Just think Ashley. So, I mean, that should at least get you halfway there. I'm joking. Okay, I'm going to a paint conference in July. My friend Ashley is putting on a paint conference. She put one on this past week. I can't go in March. I mean, my kids are in school. I'm in school. I can't go in March. So I had planned, if I do go to one, I want to go to the one in July. And so, Sheila and I have been talking about this for a year. Like, we didn't know actually, I think we did know the exact dates. I think we just knew the month. I think we knew one was going to be in March and one was going to be in July. And I think the dates were released later. And I told Sheila, because I knew Sheila was going to both. I was like, when you go to that one, you buy me a ticket and I'll pay you back. And so the whole time, I was not trying to bug Sheila while she was getting some R&R from her day-to-day life while she was down there. But I sent her a little snippet of a text message. I was like, don't forget about me. And so we're gonna go. It's gonna be in Missouri. I have not decided if I'm gonna drive or if I'm gonna fly. I have a couple months to think about that. I am one to buy a last minute plane ticket. I would love to be in her group and go on an event. She is my spirit animal. You don't have to be in the group. You can just go. You want to go? We got ways of getting you there. You want to go? I'm having a packing party. Anybody want to go? Where are you going? Where are you moving to? Packing party? Where are you moving to? Okay, this is technically a second coat, but I didn't let it dry. And remember, fully dry, reapply. Wait, what is the current? It's Sheila. I just saw a text message from my little group of friends. Sheila, how much snow did you get this week? She sent us a picture of her house covered in snow. Yes. Marie, if you want to go, you just say the word. We will make it happen. You missed the last 2 retreats. Come on, girl. Come on. We got to get you in the group. We got to get you. There we go. Okay, so this is going to take 2 coats because we did do some stenciling into the mushroom toadstool part. And we'll have to do 2 coats. 1, just to get even coverage. And 2, to kind of cover up that stenciling. All right, here we go. You notice I'm being very careful with these base coats. If you take your time and do a good base coat, you won't have to worry about that second coat being so tedious. You've already done all the stressing over that. Just slap that second coat on like it's nobody's business. Okay, there we go. All right, let's fully dry, reapply, okay? It's all coming down. It's still coming down. It's still snowing. I've got bouquets after bouquets of flowers on my counter from my garden outside, and she's got inches of snow. The FOMO is real. You should come. You should come. Everything's already booked. You don't even have to. You just gotta get there. We have gotten about 5 or 6 inches so far, but there are places in Denver and South Colorado that have 15 inches and 2 feet of snow. Gosh, we barely got any this whole season, and she's got inches in March. There was someone else that I was talking to. I was talking about my flowers in a post I did earlier today, showing off my flowers. They make me happy. And someone was saying that they've got a ridiculous amount of snow and that they're expected to get more. Now, for us here in Louisiana, especially where I live, you really don't want to, like, a frost is one thing. Like, yes, our last frost date has yet to pass. Like, Easter is our last frost date. No matter what time of year Easter comes, we don't plant anything prior to Easter. No matter what that groundhog says. Now, I didn't. My crepe myrtle said different. My crepe myrtles, they are already blooming. Like, I see little buds on them, and I was like, okay, let's get it in the ground. But here, I have to worry more so about tornadoes. So every year around Easter, we get a really bad storm. And guess what's happening tonight? Guess what we're getting? Now, I haven't looked to see if it does say there's little thunderbolts all over the notification. So I'm assuming it's going to be a thunderstorm. But like right before Easter, sometime around the week of Easter and Good Friday, we get a knockout, drag out thunderstorm that usually produces at least 1, if not 2 tornadoes and devastation. And I live in an area where the tornadoes do like to touch down just because there's a lot of open area, and that, they got the room to wiggle. That's what I like to tell my kids. They're like, why do we always get the tornadoes? It's like, because there's open area over here. People have acreage over here, and it's just open land. They've got the room to wiggle and get in there and really get going. I was like, but no, about the week of Easter, if not the week of Easter, the week following Easter, depending on how early it is, we get the potential of a tornado or 2. So I've always told anybody who plants with me, or if we talk plants, I was like, don't put anything in the ground that's fragile. Just, go ahead and get your seeds started. Go ahead and, prep all the things if you want to, if you're itching to get out in the garden, but don't put anything fragile because that tornado's coming. You're gonna have broken limbs everywhere. All right. So we've got a nice full coverage of kind of a fleshy color. Remember, mushrooms, there's been some things I've heard that say mushrooms and us are very related. And so when I was picking a beige, I was like, oh, do I want to go gray? Do I want to go brown? I was like, no, we're related. Let's go skin color. So that's what I did. Let's see. I have to talk to Tim. I have to go to Belize. Fancy. I have to go to Belize again to teach infant life support and CPR in May. Not sure how many big trips he'll let me take. Yeah, but that's the word. They're both work trips. Tell him they're both work trips. Tim, knock, 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 knock. Hey, Tim, buddy, pal. You've had a lot of time with her, okay? You've had a lot of time with her. You have to share. You have to share Marie, okay? Can you share Marie? Can she do a not CPR trip for once? It's been a year. Let her go. All right, that was my best. That was my best. You can snip it, send it to Tim. Okay. There is a tornado warning from Missouri today. Oh, is there really? Well, okay, so we're all in that tornado alley. They send it right down to us. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Tennis ball size hail and tornadoes tonight here in Texas. Let me bring all my pots in. I don't want any of my pots cracking. Ooh, hey. Hand me that plant that I just placed up there. Speaking of pots. Yeah, that one's still wet. No, it's not wet. I promise. It's not wet. The plant is probably wet, but the pot is not. I painted it. Y'all, look at this pot I painted. Look at that. So, Paint Studio, we did a big old poll on if we were going to do one project or the other. And I played around with, well, you can't see it. It's a door hanger design that we did a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, that'd be really pretty on a pot. Isn't it super cute? So I toyed around and I did it. And I was like, oh, now we're going to do it in the studio. So be looking out for that before the end of the month. I'll post when. I'll give you a heads up that, like, hey, we're going to go live and we're going to paint a really cute pot. She needs to go and help grow her business. It's for the winter. That's right. It's a Christmas party. Marie. All your stuff could be Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, you could totally do a Nightmare Before Christmas spin on all the things. It's all Christmas. So Timmy boy, Tim Aruski. Please. All right, wait, hold on. Let me do Raylan's frog face. This is her pout. Like, she does like a big old frowny. I can't even do it. I have to get her in here. Next time she comes in here, I'll have her do her pout face. We call it the frog. It's awful. Please. Everybody put down in the comments. Let Marie go. Let Marie go. Let's all chant it together. I don't want this red. I don't want it. I want a different red. I probably can make the red that I'm looking for, but this is not it. No, that's an orange. That's a bright red. I kind of want a tomato red. Okay, yeah. I can make it. That's okay. It's fine. It's all fine. It's going to be fine. All right, so I've got like a mid-tone red. We're going to make it a dark red. I want it to be a little dustier. Hashtag let Marie go 2020. I love you, Lori. For her classes at the shop too. Ornament classes, yes. See, she's gonna do a succulent class, and now look, we're already booking classes. Look at this, Tim, let her go. Hashtag let Marie go 2024. She's wanted. Oh, that's pink. Hold on. Picked up the wrong color. I need to make a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to mix a little bit of brown. I'm trying to think what color brown. I think this one. Sheila says she would love to have a full house. Well, I'm trying to overfill the house. Okay, me and Maria are totally fine bunking on a twin-size bed. Worst case scenario. Look, make us a pallet on the floor. We know how to rough it, okay? We're usually the ones that get put together anyways. We're used to it. We're used to it. All right, I'm mixing a little bit of brown in with this red to kind of dusty it up. I think I want a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And with as many people in the house, we're going to sleep cheap. See, Tim, we're already saving money on the trip. The more people that come, the cheaper the rate is. None of us care about being comfortable. I'll bring an air mattress. I gotta talk to Tim. Send me his number. I will send him a daily reminder. I will do a series of wake up calls of reason 452 of why Marie needs to go. Oh my gosh. I cracked myself up. Let's see. Tim, sweetie, Marie will be the best mood ever when she comes back from the event. You will earn so many brownie points. Wink, wink. And have something to hold over her for months. Marie, we all got your back. We're here for you. This is the community that we bond. Okay. Hey, Kim. He said there is a possibility. Just need more information. So text me later. Yes. Good job, girls. High five. High five. A painted hand high five. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and paint. We'll let Tim off the hook for just now. Just now. Don't get comfortable, Tim. We're coming for you, buddy. Okay, here we go. Like I said, do a decent first coat and you will not have to stress out for the additional coats, okay? So I wanted a dustier red, so I mixed a little bit of a light brown in with my medium bright red. I love you guys. We love you too. We love you too. That's why we want to see you. And you need connection. You need connection with your crafty friends. It's good for your heart. It's good for your health. It's good for Tim. He can't deny it. You always come home in a good mood. You come home tired, but you come home in a good mood. She's a hard-working woman, Tim. Let her go. Wait, hold on. We said we were going to let Tim off the hook for a little bit. We were going to let him eat his dinner in peace, okay? What time is it? Yeah. He should be cooking at this point. Huh? Tim, what you cooking? What's for dinner? Graham's making tacos, but he likes to make his tacos on the grill. So he is grilling his ground beef. Sorry, I just hit y'all with, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Please accept my apologies for smacking you with the paintbrush. Here we go. So I like to use these angle brushes. Some people like to use flat. Some people like to use round. I like angle because they are versatile. They get in nooks and crannies. They get in these. That's a really sharp point for like just a little teeny tiny little area. How's it coming out there?
Delicioso.
Delicioso. Don't let us fool you. We do not know Spanish. That's one of the few words. It's one of the few words, and I don't even know if that's even correct. I think that's Spanglish. I think that's just a commonly accepted. It might be right. Is that real Spanish? Is it? It is? Oh. I say it just because I know that, because I can't speak Spanish. I can read French. Can't speak it. I can speak a little bit. I can read it. I tell people I'm fluent in two languages, but really I'm not. I was like, obviously I'm fluent in my native language, English, but I can read French. I can survive reading in French. It may take me a little longer, but I can figure it out. It's been a long time, but I can't speak it. I won't be able to communicate back and forth. It'd be like I was mute. I'll be writing things down. Like this. I want this. I want this. It's kind of like English though. Like in the French language, if a word ends in a consonant, you don't pronounce such and such. If it ends in a vowel, you do pronounce such and such. Like you don't pronounce the entire word in French. It's so French. That's why I can't speak it. I can read it, but it's like reading. Have you ever read a book and like you have been saying this character's name a certain way in your head as you're reading along, and then you hear it said out loud in an audiobook or a movie, and you're like, that's not right. No, it's like Hermione in Harry Potter. Nope. I can't even remember how I said it, but I remember being blown away. Because you got to remember, I was like 11 when I started reading. I was 11 or 12 when I started reading Harry Potter. So, I mean, I wasn't the strongest reader then. So I had what I thought her name was supposed to be. And then all of a sudden the first movie come out and I'm like, say what? That's how you pronounce it? Oh, look, I'm not the only one. She looks like Hermione. Like, that's how the French language is. Like you read, you look at it and you say it how you think it's supposed to be said. And then there's letters in there that are not pronounced because of the way that they fall. And you're just like, I give up, but I can read it. So, and then living in Louisiana, Louisianians speak a little bit of French in certain areas, but they don't speak it right. They have their own version of the French word. So that's against me too, because I live up around that. So yeah. So I say I speak like 1.5 languages. I really speak 1.5 languages. So okay. There's first coat. There's first coat. They're turning out cute. I kind of want to, I'm afraid if I add white to that, I kind of want to lighten it up. It's really looking darker on camera than it is in person. It does have a nice tomatoey red to it. Hermione. Yes, it was. Yes, I said it very similar in my head. Every time I read it, I was like, Hermione. Hermione. Like, I did not, that Hermione, there's syllables in there that letters do not account for. Okay, I'm just telling you. And I feel so validated that someone else has admitted that Hermione did not come easy to them. What did Kim say? What did Kim say? We need y'all. This is my year to go. This is my year to go and be one of the girls. I do have a big one coming next year, okay? I'll probably announce it in the fall. But I do plan to do one next year. But I'm taking 1 year off from planning one just so I can be more present here and not be distracted, because planning one takes a lot. And y'all know me, I'm a one woman show over here. And after the year I had with mom and dad and, you know, all that jazz, I told myself this year is for me. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to learn all the things. Last year, I felt like my creativity was on hold. I was still designing. I was still painting. I wasn't painting live as often as I wanted to. Tim's making smash burgers on the Blackstone. Oh, see, I want to get Grandma Blackstone so bad. He won't let me. I feel, one, because I know I'd use it too, but two, because I feel like he would love it. Like, he's making tacos, like ground beef tacos outside on the grill. And I'm just like, that would be so much better on a Blackstone because it's a griddle. But we're waiting for the new house, which is, you know, going to be 2054 before we ever get that started.
Right then.
So he's like, let's not bog down the back porch here, because we do have a tiny back porch here. So, and he already has 2 grills on it. One that's smaller for when we don't want to, you know, when it's just him and I, and we don't want to fire up a big old full family grill. And then obviously the full family, the one he likes to use all the time. So, but Blackstone. Okay. Everybody's. Ours has an air fryer in the bottom so he can make fries too. Ooh. So, hey, Marie's husband, Tim, has a Blackstone that has an air fryer in it. So you can do, instead of, you know how when you make burgers, you come inside and juggle the fries at the same time with the air fryer in here. His has an air fryer attached to the Blackstone. So he can do all of it outside. He never has to like run in and out. Graham goes, intriguing. Okay.
By the way, y'all, the reason why my wife won't take a trip till 2024 is because I selfishly want her home to spend time with me. So let me enjoy my beautiful wife, and by 2024, she can be y'all's.
By 20, it is 2024.
25, I'm sorry.
20. Yeah.
Come on.
Anybody got that recorded? He said 2024. Yeah, last year I spent so much time at hospitals that, and he was working. Like I felt like we didn't see each other all of 2023. Like the kids and I, we made every ounce of every extra minute that we had. But when it came to Graham and I last year, I mean, our time was sparse between him holding. I mean, we had a little bit of income coming from my business here, but like I really had to shut a lot down to take care of my family. And so he was the breadwinner. I mean, he's always the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner, and we had to make sure that maintained. And so he was always at work. I was always taking care of someone else. Sheila goes, hashtag let Erica go 2024. You weren't in here for the let Marie go 2024 hashtag, but it's a thing now. Or it's a thing. Joke's on you. We are enjoying it, right? You heard it too. I wasn't going to say anything until he finished talking. I was like, but it is 2024. So I do plan to go. I have one and I have a ticket now. It's confirmed. I have one that I want to go to. There's another one in the fall. That one's still up in the air. But other than that, I mean, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling this year. Like I'm just taking a breath. But next year, to make up for not doing one this year, I probably need to bust out a bigger I'm just doing the base coat of this. I probably need to bust out a bigger angle brush for this, but we'll make this do. All right, so we're doing a baby pink. Like I said, we did a medium red, added a little bit of brown just to make it a little dusty. We could have added a little white or a lighter brown to it. Like I said, the camera is not doing this color justice, but it is basically the exact color of the mock-up, and I'm pretty daggone proud of myself. Oh, it has 2 air fryers and a warming. I want to know which one you got, because that might be. Hold on, I'm sorry. We have ears around. Ears. I'll say it in a minute. Have you ever like walked into a room and everybody stopped talking and you're like, oh, they were talking about me? I wonder if Graham feels that way right now. I love you. Do you really? Yay. It's nice. I'll send you, send me a picture. Send me a picture. I am intrigued. He's intrigued. He is intrigued. That is something that we had talked about, but we had said, let's not invest in one until and this was when the new house was like a fresh idea, and then the world fell apart, and then all of a sudden the interest rates started going wonky. We're waiting. That's the only thing we're waiting on is interest rates. waiting on interest rates. And once interest rates come around to a more palatable position that doesn't make us want to cry thinking about them, then we'll probably re-embark on that adventure. But till then, like the Blackstone, he doesn't really like gifts. He's not a big gifts person. But every once in a while, I hit the jackpot and I get the right thing. I never like to not acknowledge him on like Father's Day, and the kids insist on a Father's Day, and his birthday. But he really doesn't like to be acknowledged. He really doesn't like all the fuss. But there have been a few little things that we've done, and he's enjoyed it. But I really think he'd like that. I think he would be more concerned about the space that it takes up. And like I said, we do have, and it's not completely covered. Like our porch is only half covered. So like it would have to live somewhere in our livable space on the back porch. And we'd like to be on the back porch. We are back porch people. We love to hang out back there. Isn't it? It's coming out really, really, really cute. Like I'm loving it. Especially, and I wanted y'all to see that you don't have to make it exactly like mock-up. Like if you notice, I switched over to a stencil because we're doing it in a small, let me back out just a little bit so you can kind of see the whole thing. We did a stencil just to keep it simple. And plus painter's tape, you would have to have a really small size of painter's tape, and washi tape was just gonna be too small. So I'm like, let's go with stencil. It'll be fun. I think it'll be nice. All right. So before we go and paint our flowers, because we're still going to do flowers, let's go ahead and do our polka dots here. Is it hot? It's hot, isn't it? Okay, good. He has a trivet. I was worried he was going to put that right on my stove. All right. We're going to do a little bit of a banana yellow, a lemony yellow. I am going to dip it in a little bit of white. No, I'm not. I'm lying because there is no white. I'm lying. I do want to dip it in a little bit of white. You know, back in the day, if I, like as a kid, and I say kid, in high school, if I did anything artsy, I avoided yellow and red like the plague. I would not. It drove me crazy because it looked like McDonald's to me, like the whole time. Like every time I would look at yellow and red together. But now I have an appreciation for it. So it's like I was very proud of myself for embracing the yellow and red. Okay, there's one. You can do this with painter's tape. I just like to do Post-it notes. Post-it notes they already have like a little painter's tape action going on anyways. Okay. I gotta move my finger. It's in the way. Look at that. It is really coming to life, isn't it? It's really like it's starting to pop. I knew once we put these polka dots on there, it would really start to pop. Let's see. Need one right there. Sheila, I got your text message, by the way, earlier. I meant to tell you that. I just saw it pop. I just saw it like pop down again to remind me, hey, you got a text message. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so there's one toadstool. Look at now. We could have made those smaller. This is my smallest polka dot dauber. We could have used the back of polka dot dauber, but I didn't. Let's see. Y'all don't forget, if you put the word toadstool down in the comments, all the colors that I'm using, I will come back and I will give you a whole list. I'll reply to your comment and a whole list of the colors, the names, everything. I'll also tell you where I got this stencil that I use. It's from Hobby Lobby. But I know sometimes it's hard to sift through all this. They have a bunch. So sift through all the stencils unless you have the exact link to it. But if you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll come back and I'll give you that buffet link, that link buffet, to let you know, hey, this is where I got all this. That's including this design and everything. This is a design that we released this past week. It's brand spanking new. Erica's Template Tribe have had it for 2 weeks now because they get theirs on the first couple days of each month. Let's see. I don't know why I'm being super persnickety about this pink. I'm going to do a second coat. Y'all, look at me. The only thing I really need to worry about is like down here. So I'll be careful there. All I'm doing, I'm not being super precise about tearing my posts. I'm just making a curved edge. That's all I need. Just need a little curved edge. There we go. Now, there's our polka dots. I'm going to put this immediately in water so it doesn't dry out. I'll clean that up whenever I go to clean my paint brushes and dump my paint water. We're going to blow dry these polka dots because we don't want to run our hand through them and smear them. I'm going to clean up my workspace. I keep a little grocery sack right close to me and I can throw all my trash in. When it gets full, I just tie it up, throw it away. I used to have a little trash can, but it wasn't big enough. When will you, you can join Template Tribe anytime. If you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll link Template Tribe as well. You can join Template Tribe anytime. Template Tribe, if you're wondering, Template Tribe, I have 2 groups. Okay. One is a group, like private Facebook group, all that. We do paintings just like this. That's Paint Studio. So that's not what we're talking about right now. Template Tribe is every month at the beginning of the month. It's usually between the 1st and the 3rd. Just depends on how it falls. You get every design, all 15 designs. I release 15 each month. All 15 designs in one big file. And you get them all at once. You get every format. You get PNG, JPEG, and the printable template and door hanger size. You have the rights to use those in your business as painted pieces. You can use them in paint parties. You can just use them just to have. Like some people are a member just because they don't want to miss. It is cheaper than buying every single design on Template Wednesday. So you do save money. So if you're one of those that like to buy all the designs when they come out on sale, you can skip the stress of trying to remember when to log on to the website every week and just have them delivered to you before anybody else sees them. So that is Template Tribe. It is $20 a month. And you get every single design in every format that I release it in. So PNG, that's the color mock-up. So that's this, okay? You get PNG, JPEG, that's the black and white. So you can resize it or convert it. So say you like to use your laser, you can use those to convert. So you can pop it in your laser. Or door hanger size printable template. So, yes, I love my Template Tribe. I do. It makes me stretch my brain. But yeah, if you put the word Toadstool down in the comments, I'll also add that to the link buffet when I get done. So, like I said, if you put the word Toadstool, I come back and I give you the full color list of everything that I use here while I'm painting each particular project. I also link anything that I talk about. Like if we talk about my spray bottle, I get this from Hobby Lobby. When we start shading, everybody, I always get last, hey, where'd you get that spray bottle? What's so special about that spray bottle? I will link it down. I also link where, if we talk about a particular group like Pink Studio or Template Tribe, I'll link that too to where you can at least get some more information, if not join. So I love the tribe. Isn't it fun? I love Tribe. Tribe. Okay. So Tribe is fun because it's like Christmas. Like half the time you don't realize a new month has passed. So you open your email and you're like, new Tribe designs are here. And you're like, oh, it is March, isn't it? And I always try to keep you a couple of seasons ahead. So like this came in Marches. Okay. So this will probably be the last spring-y thing that you'll see until next year. Let's see. What will we be moving into for next? We will be doing summer. Let's see. This month you got a good bit of graduation, teacher appreciation, the last bit of spring. There were, I don't have it in front of me because I have so many months juggling in my head right now. I have to catch this replay. I just got on and love the background. Isn't it pretty, Lisa? It was a stencil. I can't take credit for that. The stencil. But thank you. I'll see you in the replay. Okay, so while we are chatting, I'm going to go ahead and grab a smaller ankle brush. We're going to go ahead and start working on our flowers. I'm going to take this same springy green that we ghosted out. We took a bright green and we ghosted it out. All right. I'm just making teardrops. Okay. I'm going to make a teardrop there. Now, there are two kinds of people. I'm both people, okay? It just depends on what mood I'm in. A lot of times I'll start with the flower and then tuck my leaves behind the flower whenever I do this technique. And sometimes I'll start with the leaf and I'll start with the leaf and come back and put my flowers on top of leaves. So this time I'm doing my leaf because it is a smaller piece and I want to make sure that I get a good bit. So I got a flower here. So I'm going to put a flower here. So let me do a little leaf configuration. I have a couple different kinds of leaves I like to do. And I've done this print plenty of times that I can kind of eyeball it. But if you have a hard time eyeballing a free-handed floral print, do your flowers first, okay? Fit your flowers in there kind of like polka dots, okay? Do a blob here, a blob here, a blob. Do your little blobbies. Make sure you have a little blobby going off to the side in at least three places. And then come back and do your leaves. Nobody's going to care. This is a print, okay? This is not actual flowers. Like, it's very similar to this, okay? That's a print. Nobody's, inspecting one individual flower. They're just going to see it like a plaid, like polka dots, like stripes. This is just a print, right? That's all we're doing here. I like that background more than the mock-up. Yeah, okay, so the mock-up, let me tell you where the mock-up came from. I saw something that had it was a springy design and it had green buffalo plaid on it. And I couldn't not see the green buffalo plaid was just stuck in my brain. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to probably do one here. And just because I'm doing my leaves now doesn't mean I can't come back and fit one in where I feel like there's a little blank space. I do at least 1 or 2, sometimes 3 on any given place. So I have a flower, 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 flower. Let's see. See, I do a little peekaboo of a leaf. So there's going to be a flower here. And I'm going to stop there. I can always come back and add more. I'm going to do a second coat on those leaves. So I want to add some dimension to them. So that I just could not see it. Like I needed to tuck it somewhere in a design. And so this one won that lottery. So I was like, oh, that green buffalo plaid. It was on a certain design. Not design. It was on a certain picture of something. And it had like a piece of fabric in the background that had green buffalo check or green buffalo plaid. and then it had pink. It was pink on top of the green, and that was the color combination. I was like, oh, I want to do that color combination so bad. So I was like, done. This one will be an easy one. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of white to my brush. You probably can't see it. It's right there. Okay, and I'm gonna go back over, and I'm just gonna lightly repaint these with just a hint of that white to give them dimension. This green requires 2 coats, so I did a base coat of our mixed green, my springy green. My paint studio knows how to make my springy green. We've been doing it a good bit this year because we focused on spring. We're moving on to summer now. This month is our first month in summer. Where is our design? Oh, it's this one right here behind me. It's the pink lemonade. I'll show you that before we leave. But yeah, we did a pink lemonade design. And that one was fun. It was an easy paint. Our garland, we will be painting our garland in the studio in a couple next week, next Friday, and I cannot wait. We have a cupcake and a mason jar garland that matches this perfectly. And so when we get done, it's a full decor set. They're ready for summer. And if they're ready to put summer up now, this is a really good transitional piece that no one's going to be like, ooh, that's super summery. And it's only spring. I'm like, no. Does it say hello, summer? No, it says easy peasy lemon squeeze. So it's like, it's summery without being summer. Let's see. Yeah. So we're going to fully dry this because we're about to come in and put our flowers on top. And we don't want this green running into our flowers. We're going to take a medium dusty pink. And we want to go a little darker. I'll probably mix it with a little bit of our light pink just to give it a little contrast. Oh, is dinner already ready? Hmm. Okay. Anytime Graham cooks, it's always a little later. So I'm kind of shocked. I am very impressed. It's a joke in our house. Whenever he cooks, we just understand it's probably going to be 7:30, 8 o'clock before dinner's ready.
Mom, this looks so pretty.
Well, thank you, baby. What's your favorite part so far?
I like this coat, this coat, this coat, this coat, and this coat.
She likes it all. Okay, so we're going to take same angle brush that we were using, and I'm just going to make little blobs. Just going to make little blobs. Nothing. I don't want to make them too big. Probably about the size of a quarter, if not, maybe a little bigger than a quarter. Let's see. And I want to start off with my first trio. I do remember where I wanted that one to be. These are my favorite little easy flowers. I like to tuck them in. In fact, these are the same flowers that I put on that flower pot that I showed y'all earlier that I'm going to teach the paint studio how to make. These are super duper simple. What's under here? Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I said I was going to do here. A little piece of one here. I'm using the toe of my brush to draw the edge of this. That's why you see me going like kind of back and forth. Okay. Now that I have my predetermined flowers on there, I can now see my holes. Okay, so I see the holes. I need a little something there and a little something there. So I'm going to do I'm going to do my leaves first. You can totally do your flowers first. I'm going to do my leaves first. So I'm going to do my leaf going off to this side. Just do a little partial leaf. And then I'll have a flower here. And that'll fill in this area. And then I'll just have a piece of a flower here, no leaf. So I'm going to do that. Let me blow dry that one little leaf. You see why I'm doing that? I'm going to put that white on top of that leaf. See how that color and that color, because they are the same color, they kind of feed into each other. You can't, it almost looks like I accidentally over stenciled or stenciled over my toadstool. So we don't want that. So that's why we're adding the white. We're giving it a little bit of highlight. A little bit of flow. Okay. And when we put our flower on top of that, it should be good. I just cleaned and reshaped all my brushes, and so they're like painting so good. I don't know why I fight myself on cleaning my brushes, like a deep clean, like a real good deep clean. Because they paint so well after I deep clean them. There's that. And now over here, we're just going to do like just a little, I hate it when you knock on the door. It's nails on a chalkboard. It's actually nails on glass, but you know what I mean. I can't catch you live even when I'm on a break without a car. On break without a car. What do you mean? I can't catch you live even when I'm on a break without a car. What? What do you mean you're on a break without a car? What does that mean? Who took your car? Who left you stranded? Who do I need to talk to? I mean, leaving Nancy stranded. Okay, so we have the base coat to all of our flowers done. We're going to come in and fancy them up. Are you about to leave? You want to give me a little charades of where you're going? You ran out of food?
Taco shells, because they all crumbled.
Oh, I don't need taco shells.
I know, but I promised both of them I'm going to do chips, guacamole, queso, and hot sauce.
Okay. Okay. Car is sick. I'm on spring break. Oh, your car is okay. So you're okay. Gotcha. The car is sick. So you're stranded at home until it gets fixed. I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take. Oh wait. I messed up. I dipped my brush in the wrong color. Hey, look. I know that Mom's car. Remember, her car got stolen actually got stolen in January, and she just got it back. So I totally get the whole car. I've been her taxi for the past 2 months. So like I totally get being stranded. All right. So Paint Studio just learned these flowers in depth. So if you're wanting to know how to paint those, there's a full tutorial of it in the Paint Studio. So if you're a Paint Studio member, just let me know in the group where's the flower tutorial and I'll go tag you in it. So we just painted these flowers. And I mean, I went step by step on how to paint these. Oh, and they turned out so pretty. They turned out so pretty. We painted them a different color though. So now you can kind of see how color really plays into your design. Can't wait for these to dry down because you'll really see these colors pop. I know the glare is kind of messing with them really showing. Let's see. If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate. Put them down in the comments. I like answering questions. I don't mind helping either. Let's see. And if you're looking for anything, just ask me, hey, where'd you get that? And like I said, I'll come back in the comments and I'll add a link to it in the link buffet that I usually come back and bring. That includes the color list, where I get anything that we talk about. Oop, accidentally got that I'm gonna have to get a baby wipe. Let me get a baby wipe real quick. Got that in the red. I know what he's doing. He's going to the Mexican restaurant down the street to get chips and salsa. That's what he wants. He wants chips and salsa. He said I promised the kids I'd get it. That joker wants it too. He says it's not enough food. There's plenty of food over there. This is Graham Wallace 101. I love him so much. I really do. He says I'm quirky. He's lived with me long enough. He has developed his own quirks. I'll be the first to tell you, I am a quirky individual. But I have rubbed off on him. All right. I kind of want to do a little extra in there. Don't be afraid to get, you can always use a baby wipe and clean up. I intentionally painted over because I knew I wanted a very specific little dot. So now look at our little toadstool with a floral print. Okay. So the base coating is done. Let's throw some shading on this. Hey, Cindy. You are hopping on our favorite part. We've done a floral print. We did some polka dots. We mixed a really special red. We switched up the background. Now we're gonna do some fun shading. Now, to shade, it's just like adding a second coat of anything. You need to fully dry to reapply. Shading, you have to fully dry before you can shade anything. Otherwise, you're going to smear all this work. I love when you do your shade. Well, you're hopping on the perfect time, and I've got a full bottle of water, so we're good to go. Okay, I think we're good and dry. Now, and I have reshaped all my brushes. I've reshaped all of them. There's one that bit the dust, and I'm really sad about it because it was one of my longest running angle brushes, but it was my fault. I left it in alcohol too long, and it ate up all of the glue in it. All the glue. Okay. And my bristles, my whole bristle portion came right out, and that was my fault. I actually pulled it. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why would I even do that? Okay, so we're gonna take what color do I want to take? What do I want to shade first? I think I want to do it just like I paint. I like to dissect the design and do the background and work up to the thing that's closest to your face. If it were like pieces of paper and you had to lay these pieces of paper on top of each other to get this design, this would be in the back. So that's the background, right? And then you would have this portion, and then you'd have this portion, and then you have this portion. So I think that's the order. My brain was saying angle. That's the angle. That's the angle we're going to tackle this at. No, that's the order that we're going to go at. I'm just dipping the toe of my brush in a little bit of darker green, and I'm just scraping the majority of it off on the side of my palette. A little bit on this is just me loading my brush. I have one rogue bristle on this brush and it drives me crazy. I have reshaped it and reshaped it. I am not one for snipping bristles, but this one's about to get snipped. It drives me crazy. All right, so we're going to wet our project. I like to wet the project instead of, dang it, I went in at the wrong angle. I like to wet the project instead of going in it with a wet brush because 9 times out of 10, you're bringing dirty water from your paint jar. And I'm not coordinated enough to, not accidentally not put my paintbrush in dirty water when I mean to put it in clean water. I used to keep clean water by my desk, and I'm just not coordinated enough. I cannot remember which one's clean, which one's dirty when I get going. I get going so fast, and I just go. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I went and got me a squirt. Did you get you a bottle? In it, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Like right there, I put it on a little dry patch, and now I don't have to worry about cleaning my brush or getting more water. I can just spray it. Now, I will say it takes a minute to figure out how far away you should be. It's just like spraying your hair with hairspray. Like the first time you used hairspray, you were way too close. Don't lie. Admit it. We all did it. We were way too close to our head when we sprayed our first little bout of hairspray. This is the same situation. You don't want to be right up on it. Okay. You want to be at least 6 to 10 inches, right? 6 to 10 inches away from your project. We're just getting a nice little spritz. And the direction of the sprayer. It took me a while to figure out, why is it not wet? Like, I know I just sprayed it. Why is it not wet? Because I'm spraying it, but I'm not spraying it in the direction of my project. And wood and paint soak up water. This is the tiniest little bit of water. It does not take but a second for the wood to soak this up. I am going to spray my bristles. There we go. That's the other way you can do it. If you find that your wood's soaking it up way too fast, just soak your bristles. I have a baby wipe off to the side. I usually let me show y'all. I usually put my baby wipe down on my paint table, and I have it sitting here, and I just spray over my baby wipe. That way it catches most of the water. Okay, so there's a little bit of shading. We need to finish this up. I have this little portion right here. Okay. I do want to go a little bit behind this toadstool. Don't worry about getting it in a spot that you're not supposed to get it in. Like right there, I got it on my toadstool. Just take a baby wipe. This is the lightest little layer of paint. As long as you work fast, you should be able to get it without messing up your base coat. And there's sometimes, like right now, I'm in a triangle shape. There's no way I was going to be able to get that without making a mess. So I just clean up after myself. I get it exactly where I want it. That's really dark. I'm going to clean my brush. So say you get it really dark and you're like, ooh, I don't like how dark that is. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get it dark enough. And all you do is you just let it dry and reapply. It builds up. It's a layering technique. But if you say you get it way too dark, you just thin it out with water. As long as it's still damp, you can thin it out with water. And there, that's much softer. I like it. I'm finally able to use the water bottle instead of floating medium. I'm so proud of you. Now look, floating medium, love it. I love blending gel, floating medium. I love all that stuff. It's just so hard to find. And it's so hard to be consistent with it. because stores like to stock it one day and stores like to take it away. And so I was just like, you know what? I always have water. Always have water. And then I started using this and I just have not gone back. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now that this is dry up here. I'm going to go behind just ever so lightly. Nothing crazy. Just ever so lightly behind this toadstool, the tops of the toadstool, just to add some shadow. Just to add a little bit of shadow. Just to add a little bit of lift to separate it from the background. And like I said, I may add way too much and I can always thin it out. I don't want it to look dirty. I'm just sweeping the floor on this, okay? I'm not adding a lot of pressure. I'm barely sweeping the floor. My bristles really aren't bending too much to the pressure of the wood because I'm not pressing down very hard. And I like to say that I'm sweeping the floor. It's about the same pressure as me sweeping the floor as me shading. So I'm barely grazing the wood with my brush. So when it comes to designing, every once in a while I like to ask, what do y'all want to see? We're coming into a transitional period of, we're rolling out of spring because the first day of spring's almost here. So obviously anything that would have been released for spring would have already been released, right? So now that we're going into spring and we're going to start working on other projects to get ahead of the game, what would y'all like to see? And you don't have to answer me right now, but if you'd like to, you can. You can put them down in the comments here. What would you like to see? What are some designs or some themes that you'd like to see be released and painted? I always like to ask y'all that. Otherwise, it's just what I want to see. And it's not about me. I have to tell myself it's not the Erica show. Not everything you want is what everybody else wants. It's like, well, they should. Like I said, we're just lifting this toadstool up. Going underneath. There we go. I learned both ways from you. I did highlight before you, and I think they look so. Aww. They look more natural, don't they? That's the word. That's the word. I was like, I don't want to use the word realistic because I'm totally not a realistic painter. Like life, still life, and life like I don't ever plan to be a realistic painter, but I do want things to look a little more natural. That is the word. Thank you so much. You have literally like unblocked an entire, like, what is that word? I'm searching for a word and couldn't find the word. You totally unblocked that. Thank you so much. It's a more natural look than adding like harsh paint lines from a paint pen. The paint pen is pretty. I like paint pen. I still use paint pen, but I really do like the look of this technique first. Like first and foremost, if I can use it, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put this brush aside. It is telling me that it's angry. It is telling me that it's angry. So I'm gonna put it aside. I'm gonna get a different angle brush. I say that, but my favorite angle brush. It was my favorite angle brush that I had to get rid of. I have backups. I've held on to extra ones. Okay, so we did the background. Let's do the toadstool part. Let's see. We're going to do this brown, light brown. Same light brown that we added to the red to make it all nice and toasty. How's your mom doing? My mom's doing good. In fact, we spent the day with her yesterday. We took her plant shopping and I've just potted the plant that she picked out this morning, so I'll have to take that to her. We went to her house. No one in her house needs to be doing yard work. Like, my mom's a heart patient. My dad is, very limited mobility, and my uncle's a heart patient. And so, um, me, my sister, my kids, we all went to her house afterwards, and we sorry, I'm thinking way too hard as I do the shading. It's way too dark. I'm just going to thin it out. I think it's the right color. I just think it's way too heavy. So I'm going to thin it out. If you're wondering what I'm doing off to the side, I'm picking paint up, and I'm bringing and wiping it off on my baby wipe over here. So that's helping me thin out my paint. And now I get a more realistic shade on it. That was a really heavy shade. I usually don't get super heavy shades. Usually I'm having to build it up, but tonight I am just knocking it out of the park and doing heavy. I'm being kind of heavy-handed with it here. That's why I like the bottle. The bottle helps me thin things out without stressing over it. Okay, so now I know to just knock most of my paint off on the baby wipe. This is the right color. I just thought straight from the bottle it's a little heavy. So I'm going to use my baby wipe to kind of knock it down just a little bit. Okay. So there's there's Toadstool number 1. We're going to come over here and do a very similar shade. I do need to come back behind this one on each one, but I'm going to let the outside dry before I touch the inside. Okay. But Mom's doing good. So we did her yard work. We the first mow of the season at her house. We kind of looked and made sure that there's no plants that need to be taken care of, and we set up a couple of things over there. Did a couple of hours of work over there. I was worn out. I was worn slap out by the time we got home. But it was good. She's doing good. She's still building up her endurance, but she's doing much better than she was this time last year. This time last year, she was having little mini heart attacks, which was leading into letting us know that there was a problem with her body. So I'd much rather be tired from doing her yard than be tired from going back and forth to the hospital and worrying if she's going to make it or not. So yes, thank you for asking though. She is doing much better, and Daddy's doing much better too. In fact, oh, that poor truck needs its brakes looked at. Delivery truck. And I'm telling you, those brakes don't sound trustworthy. He just needs some new brake pads or something. Dad moved a washer and a dryer when he shouldn't have. I go back there. My sister, she goes, come here. And she takes me to the backyard because their laundry room is, you go outside, around, and then back into the house. There's like a closet in the back. It's in the back. You have to go through their back porch to the other side of their back porch to get to their laundry room. And she goes, look at this. I'm like, yeah, no. The washer, I think. The washer is broken. Yeah, it's the washer. She goes, look at this. And I'm like, yeah, the washer's broken. She goes, no, it's moved. I'm like, oh, okay. And I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. She goes, guess who moved it? And I go, who? She goes, our father. And I go, how? She goes, I don't know. But he moved it. So I had to go in there and talk to him. I was like, Daddy, you should not be moving heavy machinery. I mean, it just ridiculous. They're acting like the last 2 years were not, that didn't happen. I'm like, y'all need to stop playing. Okay. There's a lot invested in that heart and that whole body of his. My mom's heart and his whole body. It was like, y'all need to quit playing. But no, they're doing really good. That's all in jest. They're doing much better. I mean, I don't think when my dad will ever be completely out of the woods, as my mom likes to say. And honestly, not with my mom either. I think my mom's we're going to always be worried about, yeah. We were told by the heart surgeon, because I do a hiccup every once in a while. I have a hiccup, and obviously we spent a lot of time with the heart surgeon, and he kind of picked up on my hiccup, and he goes, he goes, you should have that checked out. And I go, what do you mean? And he says, that hiccup, you obviously have a full family history of heart issues. My mom, both of her parents, had heart issues, right? Massive heart issues. My uncle, my mom's brother, is like, we have been told with my mom, her cough was her heart kicking it back into the right rhythm. And they were saying that for her, it's a cough. For some other people, it's a hiccup. I get one hiccup. I don't hiccup like most people. I don't get the continuous little hiccups that everybody gets. I get one hiccup and then it's done. And it's a high-pitched hiccup. It sounds like a cartoon, the cartoon version of the town drunk. You know what I'm talking about? Like the high-pitched hiccup. And like it's supposed to insinuate that, it's the cartoon version of subtly being inebriated, So that's the joke. That's always been the joke every time I've done my hiccup, because I'm not in control of it. It just catches me off guard. And he goes, you need to have that checked out. That could definitely be your version of your mom's cough. It's like, sometimes it's a hiccup. And I'm like, don't tell me that. And so like, we're always on edge when it comes to like hiccups and coughs. And well, wait, was that a little hay fever, or is that a little spring pollen getting you, or is that your heart? Which one? So, I mean, but other than that, we're all doing fine. I mean, we could not ask for any more than what we have. We are very thankful for the way that things have worked out. And the kids are super thankful for her washer breaking, because she's been able to come over and do laundry, every so often. I just told her, don't worry about getting it fixed. Don't worry about replacing it. I was like, you can just ride out not having, to pay for something, and just do your laundry over here. It's a free washer and dryer here. So they're doing good. Sorry. I'm still here. Mom called, and we're talking work stuff. This is very fun. It is a funky design. Like, it is groovy. Like, I went back and forth on whether or not to do it like truly funky, like 70s funky, or to do it very Erica. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it very Erica. Let's just do everything. To me, looks like patchwork. Whenever I mix patterns, I immediately go to like patchwork and sewing and, piecing a quilt block together. I have a friend that she makes quilted items. They're hand sewn items. Well, I think she machine sews them, but they're made to look hand sewn. And like, it kind of reminds me of her artwork. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. Okay. We will be adding a little bit of highlight. Now we just need to, how are we going to deepen that up? What are we going to shade with? It's red. And the red on your screen is not the red in my life right here. We just spent a few hours with a vascular surgeon after an ER visit with my husband in pain. They said that there's a blockage, but surgeon says no problems because it has found a way to be flowing. Oh, look at that little silver lining. So no surgery, like he has one, but the vessels are they're working around the blockage. Oh, it does. It makes so much sense. It does. It makes a lot of sense, Nancy. I did like the bold outline, but that to me is more cartoonish for like, yeah, I get you. Like it is very cartoonish whenever it's super bold. It's very coloring book for like you said, lack of better words. It's very coloring book. He thinks it's he thinks he's Superman. You tell him he needs to halt, slow your horses down, slow the horses down. I was like, sorry, sir, you didn't get a clean bill of health. You got a, that's neat. And from my experience, that's neat. Like the surgeon after mom's surgery. Okay, so we knew she had an aneurysm in her heart. Okay, so we knew that. I'm going to go in with a dark brown. We can always wipe it away. Okay, we're just going to test drive something. We knew she had, yeah, the brown is it. That's it. That's where the money's at right there. It's the brown. We're just going to go with brown. It's not the same brown that we for lack of better words. I love that. I say it all the time, but I feel like nobody understands me when I say it. So I usually say, does that make sense? For lack of better words, dirtied up the brown. I mean, dirtied up the red. But I feel like this brown. So again, you put the word Toadstool down in the comments. I'll come back in and put there's green. There's green in that. There's green in that. But yeah, it was like that's neat. Is never an okay thing. It's like with her aneurysm in her heart, when the doctor came back and told us, hey, she's, we're all done. She's in recovery. Da, 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 da. While we were in there, I was like, oh gosh, there's more. There's more. It's like, yeah, we were able to take care of the aneurysm. There were some other problems that they said potentially could arise, and that, they went over all that. But then there was this one part, and she goes, no, it was neat. When I got in there was a hole the size of my pinky, between one side of her heart pumping blood to the other side of her heart, and that shouldn't have been there. So we took care of that too. And I'm like, it was neat. That's neat. Okay. I guess you do like these. That is neat to you because this is what you do. And that, like, oh, that's neat. I haven't seen that before.
Well, it's neat. My mom's still alive.
That is neat. That is neat, isn't it? Huh? So like, he was a cool dude. He really was a cool dude. He was a fun. I was very thankful that that's the surgeon that we got. He was the only surgeon that we were able to get because nobody wanted to do it. Like nobody here in town would touch her. They said it was just too risky. She had a really low survival rate of surviving her surgery, but she was willing to take the risk because, the alternative was not surviving at all. Like she had 3 months that they predicted about 3 months that she would survive without surgery. And so she was like, well, let's roll the dice. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to travel if you want to go. But yeah. And so get through all that. And he goes, you know what? No, it's neat. Something really neat happened. I was like, I don't find that neat. I do now. Like looking back on it, I'm able to go like, you know what? He is right. That is kind of neat. My mom was walking around with a pinky sized hole in her heart and nobody knew it. Like they all knew about this aneurysm. That was a ticking time kaboom. Can't say the other word because they'll shut us down. That was a ticking time kaboom. That was going to end her at any given time. And then all of a sudden, come to find out, that too could have done it too. And we would have been so caught off guard by it because we had no clue about it. So, all right. So we are now on to highlighting and then we're done, girls. We're done. There was one little fuzzy right there and it's going to drive me crazy. Okay. Let's highlight. I cleaned my highlight brush. I cleaned it just like I clean every other brush, rubbing alcohol, get all the grime out of it, and then clean it under warm water. That's it. So let's go ahead I'm just going to use paper. Yeah, that's not probably not the best idea. I like to use like craft paper so I can actually see the deposit of white. Yeah, I think that's good. I do need to, well, dang, I should have blow dried this first. I would love your husband's positive outlook on an ER visit. I was there myself this past weekend for paint. Oh, are you okay? Well, obviously they let you go home, so I'm going to assume everything at least panned out okay to go home. I'm so sorry. Yeah, his positive. Now, let me tell you that positive outlook. You just got one positive quip. He's usually like, I'm usually having to remind him of like, look, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's going to be okay. He's gotten better over the years. But he'll be the first to tell you. We like my nickname for him every once in a while. It's like, okay, Chicken Little. The sky's falling all the time. I was like, well, what happens if this happens? I'm like, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna survive. People have survived worse. But yeah, no, he's gotten way better. Yes. And he does have like this beautiful positive thought process to him when I least expect it. Hold on, I'm trying to get some white deposit here. So what I'm doing is I'm basically dry brushing this on, okay? I can definitely do same situation. I can highlight just like I shade, but with these rounder parts, like if I was doing the edge, I would totally do it like I shade. I would do it with my angle brush. And I would go in, but I want to kind of buff this on. I love this brush. I get this brush from Dollar Tree. It's just a makeup brush. It's an eyeshadow brush, a fluffy eyeshadow brush. All I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of highlight. This is a skippable step. You do not have to do this. It built up on itself. You see where that highlight's going in? It's just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. See if I can do this without, yeah, okay. I'm just going in circular motions. Now, do be aware that since we're painting on wood, it may pick up the texture of the wood. It may pick up the texture of your paint strokes, but it does deposit, and it will kind of like thin itself out. And I'm putting that much paint on my brush, and I am literally buffing it in till it dries on this brush. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of like a dry brush technique, but it's buffing dry paint on. That's why it's picking up textures too. You see, it will be, you do have a mighty God. You do. He is in control, and our days were numbered before we were ever thought of. It was like our days were organized, our days were accounted for. That's something my mom and I talked about while she was in the hospital, was like, look, I might have 3 months on this earth left. I might have 10 years on this earth left, but it doesn't matter. It's not for me to know. It's for him to know, and he already knows. So I might be caught off guard, but he won't. Look at that subtle little buffer of a highlight. I love this technique right here. Now it is, I will say, it's the hardest one for me to show and teach and demonstrate through a camera. I'm not gonna lie, because there's just, it's a feel. Like it really is a feel to it. But you're basically just going around in circles till all the paint in this brush is dry. And you're just buffing dry paint. And I'm moving around on this paper just to make sure I'm not buffing wet paint back into this brush. A lot of people do have trouble with this technique. That's what I'm saying. It's a skippable step. You could also take your angle brush and just kind of like float this in. But there's certain things. Like when I see all this bubbliness, like look at all these little curves. I just see the buffed highlight more than I see the floated highlight, the shaded highlight. But it is. It's one that you really have to get a feel for. And it really depends on the colors that you use. So with the color palettes I tend to use now, this is going to look really, I'm going to show you. The colors I like to use on most of my designs, they're really light and pastel. It doesn't matter if it's fall. I use light colors. I just gravitate towards lighter colors. And I can just use white. Now, if you use darker colors, you're really going to want to gravitate towards using a actual graded scale. Like you want to have a dark, medium, light tone of the same color, right? And that's one reason why I use light colors. It's just easy. Hey, how are you doing? We're highlighting. So, like, obviously that's probably the tail end of it, but we're going to be here for a minute because I'm buffing it. And that takes longer than applying it the other way we like to apply it. Oh, there's a little bit of, oh, I really didn't think this was going to show up on this fleshy color, but it is, and I'm excited. But yeah, this is honestly, this is the hardest one for me to teach through a camera. Are you using those Dollar Tree Yes, I am. That is the Wet n Wild. It's the Wet n Wild. I don't know. I call it an eyeshadow brush, but I think it's called something else. But it's like it's the shape of an eyeshadow brush. Can you buff in dark shade? Yes, you can. You can. You just, when you buff something on, you want to make sure that it's complementing what your base coat color is. So obviously I would not do anything dark with this technique on this color, right? I would only do lighter colors. This is for a subtle touch. You wouldn't want to do anything that's going to be high contrast. And like I said, most of this I'm going to see in person. It's probably not going to pick up on camera. Oh, there it goes. I don't know, you can kind of see that. You can kind of see that. I really wanted it on that big one because it's up front. These are not. Why the way you explain and show is not the problem for me. It's the pressure and getting to. Now, if you notice, I'm really pressing down on this one because I have so much paint in here. Being gentle. Raylan says hello.
No, Mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember when you said that this painting was gonna be short?
I didn't say that.
No, I said that.
Oh, you were wrong.
Yes. How is this supposed to be so long?
Because I get detailed, okay? Oh. And we chase rabbits around here. That's what I say, getting off topic. I say we chase rabbits. So I'm going to do this, the curviest part of the stem down here, or the stool of the toadstool. It's the pressure of the brush. Well, okay, so with this brush, you really don't want to press down too hard unless it's not depositing. Like if the paint is super, super, super dry, you are going to press down a little harder. But like you really, it's just the feel. I promise it. Like it takes a minute. And this is definitely a skippable step. You can totally float all this highlight on. I just love this technique. It's one of those that you could just sit and watch TV and just go, like mindlessly do it. Because it is a buildable layer. You just build it until you're happy with it. I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, I kind of want just a little bit more. I do want some on the red toadstool. I am scared. Man, I'm scared to touch it. They look 3D, don't they? Yeah, Marie. See, if you came and sat next to me in Missouri, see, Tim, I could teach her how to do this. Hashtag let Marie go 2024. Okay. All right. So this, I just want to get this paint super dry. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to give it, because these are technically in the shadow of this. So I don't want to like do a whole lot of highlight. I want to do a little here. I'm doing super light pressure here only because I am terrified of this white being way too contrast for this red. And I'm going to leave it like that. You can't see that. Can you see that? You see that? See a little glimmer? It's just a little glimmer. See that little glimmer right there? We're going to do it right here again. Let me back up just a little bit because I keep hitting you with the brush. Okay. And if I didn't like it, I could just take a baby wipe and wipe. This is a really light layer. Okay. There we go. I'm going to just kind of smooth it out with my finger a little bit. Kind of thin it out just a little bit. Y'all kind of see it? Do you kind of see it? It's like a dusting. We need shirts. Let Marie go. They're going to think that we were held hostage, Marie. That's what our shirts would sound like. I love it. Lori gets the MVP award for this live. She came up with our hashtags. Sheila with an assist because she came up with mine. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to take my baby wipe. Let me see if I can just. Yeah, that was. It was a little heavy there. Okay. Now, if I wanted to shade with multiple colors, you can take your baby wipe and clean your brush with a baby wipe. It takes a little longer. I have multiple of these brushes. So whenever I want to do multiple colors of shade of highlighting, say I had all different kinds of dark colors and I needed to do the lighter version of that dark color instead of white. Sometimes like if you have like a navy blue and you do this technique over navy blue, it depends on what you're doing it on, but it can look like snow. So you don't always want to use white unless your color palette allows for it. But yeah, so you can definitely clean it this way. It dries really fast. I just go to the paper and dry it out just a little bit. You do it on a paper towel. And then reload it. But I have multiple. When I go to the Dollar Tree, I just load up on these brushes. I give them out as gifts. I give them out as freebies. Whenever I go to a retreat, I usually have some in my caddy that I bring with me. Yeah, that's much better. I like that better. And I like people are like, oh, I really like that. And when I teach them how to do it, they're like, oh, I want that. Just take the brush here. You can just have it. Like I usually just give it away because they're from the Dollar Tree. They're not expensive. Okay. I think I'm happy with it. I think I am. I feel like glitter could be a thing on this, but it is so whimsy and so cute and cuddly that I was like, I don't think I want to cheese it up with glitter. Gotta go have fun. Bye, Nancy. We're going anyway too. So we'll see ya. We'll see ya on the next one. I like it too. Okay. So I think that's it, y'all. I think we're done. I'm gonna let it completely dry down, and then I'm gonna come in and I'll seal it. I'll seal it with my Liquitex glossy sealer. Let's go ahead and clean up the edges real quick before I forget to do it. But I want everything to completely dry. I don't want anything smearing. If y'all had fun, like tell me in the comments what your favorite part was. What was something that you learned? You may have seen it before. You may have seen me do it before. You may have done it, but what's something that you like? If there's like a notable, what's something notable? I love you too, Sheila. Tell Lorelai I said hello. Will Lorelai be with us in July? If there was something notable, something that you learned, something that you want to try, put it down in the comments. Like I said, if you put the word toadstool down in the comments, toadstool like a mushroom, if you put the word toadstool down in the comments, I'll make sure to bring back that link buffet of all the things that we talked about, including the full color list of all the colors that I used today to make this design. All right. I will talk to y'all later. I'm going to go eat my dinner because apparently it is ready. It's so sticky cute, isn't it? I have to learn the highlights with the makeup brushes. I'm telling you, Cindy, it's fun. It's fun, okay? It does take some practice. Get some cardboard out. Get some cardboard out and practice. Basically, emptying the brush, you have to make sure this thing is so dry, okay? Like, so dry. So, you see that paint on my hand? That's dry paint, okay? It's dry. It's not wet paint. But like that's the trick, is being patient enough to get the tiniest bit of white and get it dry, and make sure that all this is dry when you do it, because the texture of your paint, the texture of your wood, and the dry paint on here, it's depositing. But it takes a minute to learn, but that's why I do it as often as I can, because I feel like it does add a nice little whimsical, realistic, I hate that word, natural look to it. But it's totally skippable. There's so many other things that we could do to highlight too, and you know that we do them in the studio all the time. So but like I said, if y'all have any questions, put them down in the comments. Like I said, if you put that Toadstool down in the comments, I'll be coming back later on tonight, and I will be putting all the things that we talked about so that you can find the little bit and piece that you're looking for. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.